I'm sure it's like common knowledge now that yeah, that the government now wants to like force kids to get the jab like as young as 5 years old. So yeah, but yeah, apparently like they want they want like kids even younger than 5 years old to get the jab now. So um, I want to pull up an article right now that explains. I'll explain it because what I'm going to show you is an article that talks about like a 3-year-old who who was somehow like I guess mistakenly given the Pfizer jab when they were actually supposed to get the flu shot. So I'm going to pull up the article right now. So, so this is from the COVID world. It says this 3-year old given adult dose of Pfizer jab instead of flu shot. Mother seeks answers. So it so this is in Canada. It says another young child has been mistakenly dosed with the Pfizer COVID jab, continuing increasing trend. It says Canadian Jenna Barderson went to the Keystone Health Center in Brandon, Manitoba on November 24th to get flu shots for herself and her 3-year-old daughter, Dali. But after the injections, she was told by staff that they had both been given adult dose of the Pfizer jab instead. Then it says Jenna said she was shocked when she was informed of the mistake, but was told by healthcare workers that her daughter would probably be fine in quotation marks. I was concerned about my daughter as we were starting to have side effects and stuff. I really was kind of angry and wanted to speak to someone. And I think this is a picture of them. So yeah, this is a picture of Jenna Barterson with her 3-year-old daughter Dali. It says not only is the Pfizer jab unapproved for children under 5, but the adult dose is 3 times the dose for children. Both Jenna and Dali suffered side effects from the shot, with both suffering fevers and headaches, and her 3-year-old began vomiting a few days later. It is unknown whether there have been more serious health effects on the young girl. Angry about the mistake, Jenna began calling health authorities to try and find out what happened, but was met with a bureaucratic wall of silence. Of course, when you're dealing with government like or these like bureaucratic people, like that's what happens. They just like leave you in the dark, like never and don't respond to you. Like, they'll take forever to like get back to you, and even if it's something like simple. So then it says the number she was originally given to report any negative. The number she was originally given to report any negative effects was incorrect, but after calling various Manitoba health numbers to report her daughter's symptoms, she was told that they both might have COVID and that they should self isolate. She then went to the job center to complain in person and days later received a call saying that it would take 30 days to do an investigation, that she could be given no data on the health worker who injected her child due to confidentiality in quotation marks. So now so now she's being told that due to confidentiality she can't have access to any data about the jobs versus the jobs and all that. So or like or just to know like what happened or like why she suffered like an adverse reaction from the job. So now she's being told that she can't. Yeah, so she's being told that they can't like I guess give her any answers due to confidentiality. So it's like nowadays whenever like the word confidentiality comes up, especially like in government or like bureaucratic stuff, it usually means that they're covering something up. So it means like they're usually hiding something or they're trying to like protect themselves from being embarrassed or humiliated. So yeah, that's what confidentiality means. So it means like they're hiding something or they're being yeah, or they're just trying to like protect themselves or someone else from being humiliated or embarrassed. So then it says the amount of hoops a person has to go through to even just figure out what place to contact to be heard to report negligence and malpractice in the Prairie Mountain Health Region is absolutely unacceptable. Yeah, unfortunately, that's how it is when it comes to dealing with government or, like bureaucrats. As they'll just like they'll make you go all over the place just to like find it, just to get answers on anything. So it's like yeah, like they're not very transparent, but they'll just like make you go all over the place just to even if it's for something simple, they'll just like send you to the next person, and then that person they'll just send you to someone else and all that. Like the whole cycle just keeps on going and vice versa. So yeah, that's how it is when it comes to dealing with the government and these bureaucrats. So then it says, and what's more, this was a completely avoidable mistake that shouldn't have happened in the first place. My daughter is literally a guinea pig now for us to see how the adult jab will affect a child so young. Though it sounds like she'll be okay, what if she hadn't have been? This is a picture of the Keystone Health Center. It's on Brandon, Manitoba. So I guess this is a picture of the place. Then it says Manitoba Health later said about the incident. Follow-up conversations have occurred with the immunizer involved, and based on their immediate recognition of the error and disclosure to a supervisor, no further corrective action has been taken. So I guess Manitoba Health they're just covering up their tracks, or they're covering up for the person like mistakenly given them like the Pfizer jab instead of their flu shots. So I guess here it seems like Manitoba Health is covering for them. So then it says CBC eventually covered the story. However, Barderson wrote on Facebook after the interview that whole parts of her response were not mentioned, and that she believes that CBC is covering for the province to avoid accountability. I wouldn't be surprised if they were doing that as CBC. They seem to be very like pro. Yeah, like they're a state broadcaster, so they seem to be very pro like government like or they'll be like they'll constantly like speak in support of the government. So like with whatever they do. So I wouldn't be surprised if CBC is covering for the province of Manitoba. So I guess here's a tweet from her. It says, so it says this is why I don't like news interviews. Asks for my response and doesn't bother to post or even quote the full response I sent to them. I guess they don't want the province to be accountable for their actions either. This is what I sent them after they asked for my response to what the province sent them. I think it's ridiculous that they could give the news a response so swiftly, given that it took me a full week to get any sort of acknowledgement or apology out of any of them. And that's upon me making multiple phone calls over multiple days and even walking straight into the super site myself. I feel like if I hadn't have done that, I wouldn't have received a call from them at all. They actually did not inform me of the risks. The woman that was overseeing the after jab was The woman that was overseeing the after jab waiting area was the one that informed me of this. I'm not sure if that is what they meant. And the thing is, how exactly would they really know the risks were low, seeing as there hasn't been testing of adult jabs on children so young? My daughter is literally a guinea pig. I also find it funny that they can inform the media of the corrective measures, or lack thereof in this case, they're taking with the immunizer, but yet told me they couldn't tell me what was being done with them, citing confidentiality. I feel like this immunizer should have measures in place for harm reduction, um, e.g., needle privileges taken or to be supervised, seeing as she has messed up on not just one of us but both. I really hope that they will make do on their promises to prevent things like this from happening again. But still, I can't help but be frustrated in the lack of response and help that they have given me, especially because it involves my concern and questions regarding my 3-year-old daughter's well being. Okay, so I think that's the end of the tweet. And there's a picture of the mom and the daughter. And then I think this is the article from CBC. It says a 3-year-old in Manitoba went for a flu shot. Instead, she mistakenly got an adult COVID-19 jab. It says this case is the latest in a string of incidents where underage children have been given adult doses of the COVID-19 jab in the rush to immunize. This website has covered at least 5 other incidences you can find. So I think these are the links to other incidences. So a report by CBC. So I don't know I think this might be the report from CBC. So I'll play it. It's like 1 minute long. So
This 3-year-old girl named Dolly from Brandon, Manitoba, is a vibrant and healthy toddler. Mom Jenna Barterson wants to make sure she stays that way. To help, she booked time for her and her little girl to get the regular flu shots at a vaccine super site.
We went
Named Dolly from Brandon, Manitoba, is a vibrant and healthy toddler. Mom Jenna Barterson wants to make sure she stays that way. To help, she booked time for her and her little girl to get the regular flu shots at a vaccine super site.
we went in there to get our flu shots, and instead of getting our flu shots, they gave us both adult Pfizer vaccines.
Dolly is not eligible for a COVID vaccine right now. No child under 5 years old is, and mom isn't either. She's double vaccinated and due for a COVID booster shot in January. Understandably, she was shocked when a healthcare provider told her a mistake was made.
I was concerned.
But she says she doesn't want her experience to deter others from getting vaccines. She just wants parents to be vigilant at clinics.
Double check with your healthcare provider, whoever's doing it. Just make sure that they have the right medication.
Barterson says she understands that healthcare workers may be tired and overworked, but says mistakes like this are dangerous. Manitoba Health says it's aware of the incident and has called Barterson to inform her about the risks. Officials say incidents like this are rare, but they do occur, and processes are in place to avoid similar ones. Sheila North, CBC News, Winnipeg. This 3-year-old girl named Dot.
Okay, so that's the end of the video. So, alright, so that's the end of the video. So she says like how, yeah, so she basically said like how she and her daughter were supposed to get like the flu shot, but they ended up getting the Pfizer jab instead. So, and she's saying like how like the healthcare workers may be tired and all that, but like it still doesn't mean like they shouldn't. Still doesn't mean like they should do something like that. As like I don't think like it was an accident that they gave her and her child like the Pfizer jab like instead of the flu shot. Like I think it was done like deliberately as yeah as like they're trying to push like kids to get the jab. So yeah, like I don't believe that it was done accidentally. I think it was done on purpose. So um and, and yeah, like I don't agree with that with the woman when she said like how how like yeah, like how like the healthcare workers were tired and all that. But no, like when she said like when she like it still encouraged people to get the job as yeah like because they're not, yeah, like there's no like data to prove if these jobs are safe or not, and now it's like they're trying to push it on kids too. So yeah, like I don't agree with that with the woman when she says like you should still get the job, but 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 like the one thing I did agree with her is when she said how you have to check with your with like your like with your doctor or something, the like the person who's giving you like the shot. So yeah, like that's one thing like I agree with. As as like sometimes they might give you the wrong thing, like the doctor or nurse or whoever it is. So and now with these COVID jabs, like I'm sure they're looking for like any reason to just inject people, especially kids, with this like with this like experiment. So yeah, and I think she also said in the interview there, or like in the paragraph, like how her daughter was like a guinea pig. So like in other words, like she's saying like how her daughter's like an experiment, which I think is which is like true, as these jobs they haven't been like tested or anything, and there's no long-term data to prove if they're safe or not. So and the trials for these jobs are still ongoing. They're not expected to be completed until 2023. So yeah, like anybody who takes these jobs, like these COVID jobs, yeah, like they're pretty much participating in an experiment. So yeah, and yeah, that's the end of the article. So yeah, yeah, like they're like the government, like pretty much on all three levels, they're trying to push for kids to get the job, like even if they're like younger than 5 years old. So yeah, like I don't think like yeah, like I don't think like the mom and her daughter were injected by accident. I think it was on purpose. Because right now, like seeing how they're trying to force, like all three levels of government, they're trying to force everyone to, especially the kids, to get these jobs. Like, I think like it was deliberate. I don't think it was I don't think it was an accident. So yeah, and also in Toronto as well. I think something they're trying to do something similar as well. So yeah, like they're coming for the kids. So like I really hope parents start like paying attention, as they now want to like inject your kids behind your backs, so, or like without your consent. So yeah, like I really hope you people especially are paying attention. So as they're gonna come for your kids soon. They're gonna come for your kids eventually. So yeah, like that's everything I wanted to talk about, and I'll be signing off now.